So I was doing some math last night and I realized I've spent exactly $7,222 on audio VST plugins so far, and about $1,000 worth of that or more I just don't even use anymore and just regret buying. And it got me thinking about what plugins I'd buy first if I was building my plugin library again. And I'd love to know what your favorite plugins are and why down in the comments. So if I was starting all over, I think I'd start with the Soundtoys 5 bundle. I feel like I'm always using the Decapitator or the Devilock saturation plugins and using the little Ultra Boy for cool vocal effects. The Crystallizer is also super cool for keys or different pads or guitar sound design stuff, and the Effects Rack is a super versatile way to just come up with weird, unique sound design elements or cool things that I wouldn't have come up with on my own. The second plugin is Melodyne, and I'd probably start with Melodyne Editor right off the bat. Melodyne is just essential for high quality tuning that doesn't have a lot of artifacts, and it's just the best tuning software I've used yet. I feel like Melodyne Essentials doesn't have enough features for me, and Melodyne Studio has features that I wouldn't even use, but Melodyne Editor is just in the middle there, and it has polyphonic tuning if you want to tune guitars and some advanced vocal editing tools and stuff, and it's just crazy when you actually get in and you start tweaking individual notes of a guitar performance. It's just crazy. And number 3 kind of surprised me a little bit with the Valhalla Effects plugins. I just love what Valhalla DSP has done with Vintage Verb and Shimmer, even the free one Supermassive. I just use those all the time, especially Vintage Verb on vocals and guitars and synths. It's such a creative tool that you can just crank it as crazy as you want, and it doesn't have that weird metallic-y, reverby sound that I just hate. Soothe 2 has been a daily driver for me ever since I picked it up. And I avoided buying it for a while just because I thought it was overpriced and I didn't really understand the hype behind it. But it's honestly become a huge part of my sound and my workflow and how I process vocals and how I process guitars and everything. And it does such a good job at just controlling harmonic EQ dynamically, and it's so clean. When I first got it, I had a hard time finding the fine line between not enough and too much, and I feel like it's just something that I had to use a lot to get used to, but it's such a powerful tone shaping plugin. The last on my list is the FabFilter Total Bundle, and it is by far been the best plugin investment that I've made. Now my mixing style is pretty clean. I don't like to have a lot of saturation or color on a lot of my stuff, and the FabFilter stuff is so transparent and so smooth. The EQ sounds like EQ. It doesn't sound like EQ plus noise or EQ plus color. And the same with the compression, it just sounds like compression. Doesn't sound like compression plus distortion. And more than any other bundle that I've ever bought, I use probably 90% of the FabFilter plugins pretty much on a daily basis. My favorites being the Q3, the C2, the DS, the L2, and the MB. If you don't like super transparent plugins, these might not be for you. But if you already have the plugins that you need and the instruments that you love, and you're just sitting there staring at a half-finished project or an empty session wondering what's next, well, in this video, I'm gonna talk about how to escape the trap and how to finally finish your music. So I guess I'll see you over there.